Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, America, and welcome to Pulse City, where we always bet on Black. I'm your host, Marcus Hardy, and today we're going to talk about a story very near and dear to my heart, and that's the story of one Jacob Blake.
This is Angela Say This, voice of the people, and today we are talking about the incident regarding another instance of police brutality in regards to Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. When I think about this particular situation, the first thing that strikes me is that Jacob Blake is one who actually got to live.
The story of Jacob Blake takes place in the summer of 2020 during the depths of the pandemic as well as the height of the BLM movement. Jacob Blake, a young Black man, was shot 7 times in front of his friends, neighbors, and family on camera by the police.
At a scene where there was a domestic disturbance, and witnesses say that he was actually there attempting to de-escalate the situation between the two parties. And when the police arrived, they arrived aggressively and they ended up shooting him to the point where he was paralyzed. One positive that I don't want to get lost in yet another one of these situations is the fact that he survived. He is here and he gets to be a father to his children and a son to his parents and a person in his community, and he gets to still be there.
This would leave Jacob Blake paralyzed and in the hospital for many months. This type of negativity that happens very frequently for Black people, whether it be them personally, their family members, or on TV, really is a very disheartening event. It actually destroys Black people mentally, as it probably does some other races.
Facing some charges in regards to the incident because of course he was charged with things, because that's usually what happens to us in these particular situations. And unfortunately the police officer that did shoot him was not put up on any charges. Every single day, and seeing yet another situation where a Black person is brutalized by law enforcement, or a law enforcement officer is taking their authority to abusing their authority.
This type of thing destroys Black people, both mentally and physically. It can happen to you, it can happen to your brother, your sister, your kids, your parents. You really don't know where it's coming from. But what we do know is that we can't let it stop us. We can't let it destroy us mentally. You know, I had a time in my life where I was pulled over by a police officer I was actually going to a fundraising event. And I could tell even before the police officer got out of the car that he was very agitated with me for who knows what reason. So when he came up to my car, I rolled down my window and he said to me, "When was the last time you went to jail?"
Do we continue to fight for injustice, or fight against injustice and fight for justice for the victims of these types of situations? I do hope that we remember that we can't fight if our cups are empty. We have to fill our own personal cups. We have to do what we have to do to take care of our health and take care of our sanity and our mental health as well, so that we can actually have a cup to fill, so that we can actually be able to have the gumption and the energy to continue to fight the way we do. A few things that I do that help me is that sometimes I have to turn everything off. I have to turn off the social media. I have to stop doom scrolling and just be present with your people. Be present with your family. Be present with your friends. I know it's hard and difficult in the pandemic if you live by yourself, but if you don't, you know, I live with my family, so I sometimes have to just turn everything off and go and sit with my family, right? Go sit with my parents and just chat and talk and laugh and watch something funny on television and just do something to nourish yourself.
So I knew in that moment that I really had to be on my P's and Q's. I really had to think right, speak right, just move right, everything, if I wanted to make it home. And a lot of people may think that that's silly, but these are the types of thoughts that run through young Black men and young Black women's minds in their interactions with the police.
If you don't live with family or don't live with a significant other, doing things like, you know, taking a bath, lighting some candles, turning on something on television that isn't so emotionally draining. Turn on some mindless comedy or just something fun, something that'll make you smile. If you don't, you will forget. It's easy to forget sometimes that being who you are isn't a threat.
So what's the solution to this, right? What's the solution, or how can we combat this within ourselves and within our community? Other than voting, going out and supporting BLM, or just generally being involved in your community. When you don't have direct access with your family, or you don't have direct access with your friends, what can you do? And I know for me, what I do is listen to music. I'll go for a walk. I'll go drive. I'll turn on Tidal and I'll stream hip hop, R&B, house music.
Out of us comes so much. Black joy is a revolutionary act. Every time you laugh in spite of, every time you succeed in spite of, is you participating in a legacy of joy that Black people have somehow found in this country since the very beginning. Everything from our hair to our skin and our clothes is politicized. And sometimes you just need to turn that off for a second and just be in your joy. Be in your body. Be present.
Whatever can make me feel comfortable in that moment, relax and calm, I'm with it. Because what do we do as Black people, right? Music, throughout history, we've used that to celebrate, we use it to dance, we use to acknowledge people, we use that to express ourselves, right? So why not use it to calm ourselves?
Pole City family, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to mind our minds and our bodies and the vessels that we have while we're here on this earth. And although it feels like a war against us at all times, we have to remember to find joy. And it can be the smallest thing. Celebrate all of your mini wins as well as your big ones. As a society and as a country and as a world, we have to reimagine what policing looks like in this country. There should not be police officers on the force that see a Black face and immediately see danger. All de-escalation tactics seem to go out the window when it comes to Black people, and that needs to stop. And then get real creative on how we can actually implement those things in this country. Changes that big do not happen overnight. And that's why we need to take care of ourselves so that we can have the energy and the gumption to go ahead and fight the fights that need to be fought. I'm Angela Say This, voice of the people, and I'll see you guys next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another ride through the city. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Oh my God, orange is not my new black.